What do your feet tell you about your heart? This is a riddle.
I would have guessed not a lot. It's not where I would have looked for my heart health, to be honest. And I do think about my heart health, but the feet are not where I look.
Well, it turns out you should be looking at your feet. And there is a new AI powered health device developed by Cambridge based startup Heartfelt Technologies that will do just that. It is a wall mounted scanner that quietly monitors your ankles for swelling, because ankle swelling is actually an early sign of a deteriorating heart failure. And so the scanner uses computer vision to catch it early before you might even notice anything's wrong or feel any symptoms.
That's fascinating. Tell me a little more about how that works. This is a surprising outcome. How does it do that?
You literally mount it on your wall and it will take 1,800 images per minute. So, large volume of data that it's gathering. And the image are targeted around your feet and ankles, as I mentioned, while you're just sitting nearby. So, you're sitting in your living room, it's taking pictures of you. You don't have to have an app. You don't have to do any syncing. You don't have to tell it any user input about your symptoms or how you're feeling. It's just constantly sort of running in the background and it's scanning for subtle changes that might indicate fluid retention. And then an embedded AI system will process the images and flag patterns that suggest that your heart is deteriorating.
That's really interesting. And I do know I've heard of this being a thing that doctors look for. Are people using this? Like we talked, this is the in the wild segment. Give me the in the wild portion of this story.
So there's trials going on around 5 NHS trusts, and it's being tested with 26 patients who are currently living with chronic health failure. It predicted successfully 5 out of 6 hospitalizations with an average of 13 days earlier intervention than would normally have happened without the scanner. So people actually got to the hospital 2 weeks early, which of course that type of lead time can be a huge game changer. It gives you enough time to sort of react before the problem becomes catastrophic. You can change your meds, you can figure out whether you need to go to the emergency room, so on and so forth. And the patients actually liked the thing so much that 80% of them chose to keep the device even after the trial was over. So it was not intrusive at all to their life. They actually felt like it was a value add, so much so that 80% of them wanted to keep it. So I think this is super cool. And also for me, I was like, man, what other types of things could a wall mounted device looking at you prevent in terms of like bad health outcomes? I think about, elderly people living by themselves who are prone to falling. Of course, the leading non-disease death for the elderly is falling. Could an AI system kind of track when you're starting to get wobbly, make recommendations like maybe you should stop wearing the slippers, maybe you should wear the shoes, maybe this, maybe that, right? Predict those types of things would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes me think too about all the non I mean, it is a great example in my mind of not just AI processing data, but AI allowing you to collect data that you never like nobody was gonna put a camera in here and send it to a nurse every day, 1,800 pictures a minute of people's ankles, even if you knew that was like a thing that could help. It says, oh, we can collect the kind of data that was maybe available, but totally useless to us before because we couldn't do anything with it. And now we can start to think about collecting a different kind of data because we can make sense of it, a different volume of data. That has so many uses outside of healthcare, certainly in healthcare, but in all sorts of industries where you go, where can we, if we can process massive volumes of data that were previously just undigestible, what kind of things can we start collecting and using? And you're right, like the predictive nature of this in healthcare is really fascinating because that is one of the huge shifts I think we expect to see in healthcare is moving from just, what some in the healthcare industry now call sick care, where we wait till you get sick and then we take care of you too. Can we help see things coming and get ahead of potential issues or real issues before they get serious and actually be a little more preventive? So very exciting on many fronts.
For sure. And this meets the sort of test that we talked about last week when we were talking about the breast cancer screening of it's a predictive thing that you can actually change the outcome. So it's a strict value add. It's not, going to make you sit around worrying about getting sick in a way that sort of detracts from your life. It literally can help you change the outcome and have a better outcome. So I love this one.